Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And if you're new to my channel, yay, you found me. I'm so glad. And if you are a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for coming back. As you know, my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a specific film. So today I have a very interesting, unique specific film called Scarlet. This artsy French film has a limited release in theaters on June 9th, 2023, and will then stream online not until July 26th, 2023. So I want to tell you about it because it's so different. It's rated PG-13 and is an hour and 40 minutes. The movie review mom grade I'm giving it is a B. So let me tell you why. I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, funny lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that I think you might also like if you like this kind of film. All right, so let's dive in. In a nutshell, the lovely French film was directed by Italian filmmaker Pietro Marcello. Writing credits go to Pietro, Maurizio Brauci, Maud Ameline, and Genevieve Brissac. It's a coming-of-age movie set in France between the years 1919 and 1939, a time of great inventions and dreams, especially in France. So the movie, of course, takes place in France. Let me give you a list of all of the things that I really liked about the movie first. We get to see real footage of soldiers from World War I and regular citizens during the war in the old film clips that are used. They're blended with modern footage and look mostly like they belong together. It adds a unique, authentic look. I mean, for a second when I was first watching and I thought, wait a minute, are these new modern clips that are made to look old? And then I kept looking and I'm like, no, I think that's actual live footage. And then sure enough, they're scattered throughout the film, just again to kind of give it that authentic flair. And I thought that it worked. I didn't know any of the actors in the film. They're very French and they all look like real life farmers and craftsmen, not glossy Hollywood actors, which is refreshing. The cast includes Raphael Thierry, and I apologize if I'm slaughtering these names. They're either French or Italian, and so I'm trying here. Juliette Joanne or Joan, Naomi Losky, and Louis Garrel in the leading roles. My apologies. I really am trying here. I hope that the beautiful Juliette Joan will be able to cross over into Hollywood as she deserves to be seen and heard. She's just lovely. The name of the protagonist is not Scarlet, as you might imagine. Instead, it refers to the sails of a ship that are supposed to show up one day and take her away to a better life. So she's always looking for these red sails. And we see them actually mimicked in several things in her life. And you can see she's kind of looking like, is this it? No, that's probably not it, which is kind of an interesting way to paint this character's picture and personality, but also to illustrate the whole theme of hope. The younger Juliet was played by Asia Brichat, 10 years old, Sienna Gilbert, who was 12 to 18 months old, and Suzanne Marquis, 5 years old. And again, I apologize. I'm sure I'm not saying those correctly. I'm saying them kind of like American names. And Victoire Baptiste, how's that, as a baby. They were all absolutely adorable. And then, of course, Juliet grows up into a beautiful young woman. There is gorgeous cinematography by Marco Gracia Plena. We don't hear any dialogue until about 5 minutes into the film. It's in French with English subtitles, so you should know that going in. So many of the still frames could be works of art. While the movie is French, so many images looked like artwork from the famous Dutch painters. You know, the farmers on the field with the plows and the grains and things like that. Then I finally kind of started getting soaked into the Frenchness of it all. And I shouldn't even tell you this, but I'm trying to learn French on Duolingo. And as you could probably ascertain, I'm not doing that well. Such a beautiful language. And I'm going to France this August, which is partly what has spurred learning French in Duolingo. I speak Spanish fluently, so I have a feeling that my French sounds like a Spaniard trying to speak French because I lived in Spain a couple of times. But anyway, the original music by Gabriel Yared was very sweet and sounded very French. It added just such a genuine background to some of the scenes. So the original title of the movie in French is L'Envol. Again, I'm probably not saying that correctly, but it means take off. So we get to watch a young woman aching to take off in her own life, leaving her childhood behind, and even the sadness of some of the events that unfold and begin a new life. While the movie is French, there are definitely touches of Italian cinema within many of the scenes. And of course, that makes sense because the director is Italian. Now, with that praise, there were a few things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done a little bit differently. For example, some of the scenes are at night and they're very dark, which will make viewing difficult if you're going to stream this on a small device. So try to watch it on the biggest device that you can. The genre of this film isn't easily defined. It's not quite a musical, although there is some singing. It's not quite a fairy tale, although there are definitely moments that make us feel like it's a magical story. And then mixed with those are heartbreaking struggles and clips of real footage from the time and real life problems that are just heartbreaking. Those who will most enjoy this movie, I think, are those who are not in a hurry to get to a plot or to get to resolution. There are viewers who like to just experience the moments and let it just sink into your soul and wash over you, because that's definitely the feeling of the movie. It's more artsy fartsy than a straightforward drama, for sure. There are some gaps in time and missing details, so you just kind of have to take clues from what you do see or use your own imagination. Some people will look at that as choppy, like, wait, what happened? Did I miss something? Because they're looking for a straightforward chronological telling, and that's not exactly how the movie flows. Now, there may be some viewers who will think that the movie just ends abruptly. It does, yet it's the precise moment that Raphael talked about with Juliet about hope. So savor that final moment. All right, let me give you some tips for parents. I think, first of all, kids are going to be bored. You have to read French subtitles. They're in English, of course, but the movie is spoken in French. There is talk of rape, kissing, talk of witches. A woman, in fact, claims to be a sorceress. And so we see her perform some spells, and she also teaches some children some spells. So there are mixed reactions of that in the movie. There is some bullying. A man puts his hand up a woman's skirt during a passionate moment. And then there is an attempted rape as well. So again, mixed with this lyrical singing and fantasy, there's serious stuff happening. So let me share some themes with you that I thought were done very well. Hard work, of course, family, dreams, hope, fathers and daughters, and reputation. So whenever I watch a movie, I write down funny lines and interesting lines so that I can share them with you so you can get a taste and a sense of the dialogue or the script writing. So as I was looking over my notes, I didn't write down any funny lines. There are some humorous moments, but nothing like really laugh out loud humor. But there were some interesting lines. So I'll share one of them with you right now. And by the way, you can always go to my written review at moviereviewmom.com and see everything that's there. So Raphael plays this nuanced, layered character, I guess I'll call him. And he says, life isn't kind to us. You know that. But at least we hope. That's what we live on. That's what keeps us going. And ultimately, it's that sentiment that keeps these characters going and that the movie really addresses in a difficult movie at times to watch, and yet a magical movie at times to watch. Throughout it all, that whole feeling is one of hope and looking forward, looking to fly, looking for those scarlet sails on the ship. All right, so I've got a couple of recommendations that I think you're going to think are interesting. The first one is called Annette. Now, this is an equally different type of a movie where it can be very dramatic, and also there's music and some dancing, and also some really weird stuff going on. It has the incredible Adam Driver and a French star that you'll recognize when you see her. And I couldn't decide the whole time I was watching it, is this genius or is this insane? And so I would love to hear your thoughts on that movie. I don't think that I actually did a movie review of it for whatever reason. I think I was sick or I was behind and I just wanted to watch the movie anyway. And then another movie is called Renoir, and it's about the French painting, the French artist Renoir, and what it's like to live in France during that time. What were the things that inspired him, impressed him, gave him hope? So check that one out too. You might be interested. If you like the foreign flick feel, whether they are Hollywood movies or they actually are foreign films, just going into another country and immersing in the language and the culture and the art and all of that. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this movie. If you watch it, definitely comment down below. I'd love to hear what you thought about it after you watched it. When you get a minute, go over to Instagram and subscribe or follow or whatever they're calling it these days. I have two accounts. One is Movie Review Mom, and then another one is my author website called Trina Boice. That's voice, but with the letter B. I would love to connect with you there as well. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.